great David Bowie, Young Americans, courtesy of Comcast, helping your Pratte pack get his groove on and get ready to wrap up a long day with some entertainment news, sports news. But remember, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba, McDonald's all throughout the tri-state. Look for the golden arches under that full moon because it means a full menu, delicious and very reasonable. McDonald's. Speaking of Beaver Falls, Frank's Original Grill, I've been hearing a lot about it, but they're playing some live music. And I heard earlier tonight that Vanessa Campagna will be there on March 23rd, and Norm Nardini, the unsung hero of rock and roll in this region, will be on stage there on April the 29th. But here's the lineup they've got coming up on March 17th, Concrete Soul, and that, of course, the big St. Patrick's Party. And, of course, on the 18th of March, Hard Luck Kings. On the 25th of March, Nickel Plated. And Bad Friend Ben is going to be there on April 22nd. You know, one of the things we've talked about many times, very few venues have live music like back in the day. Wooly Bullies, Jay Woolley doesn't. We've talked about Nick Ziegler and the 4019s, and they're looking for a venue to come back sometime late spring, early summer, and that will be definitely one you're going to want to pencil in. But it's a really cool place, Frank's Original Grill, 7th Avenue, great food, great beverages, of course, delivered by She-Walk Distributing and Fine Wine and Spirits. And if you're looking for a place to get your groove on, enjoy some good grub and some adult beverages, where we always remind you to be responsible and listen to some great music, that is the place to go. Now, sports news. The Penguins earlier on the NBC Sports Network lost to the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 5-2. Sidney Crosby did get his league-leading 32nd, and Tom Kuhnackel scored as well. 19 stops by Matt Murray. Pens are back in action at the PNC Arena Tuesday night at Carolina. But the big story, Saturday, Heinz Field, 8 o'clock. It will be seen on the Canadian Broadcasting Company Network and NBC. Doc Emmerich with a call. It's the Stadium Series, presented by Coors Light, and it will be happening at Heinz Field. Get your tickets while they last, because it is going to be a packed house on the ice. Looking forward to that. Big night coming up at Heinz Field. Now, what else is happening? You got the NBA All-Star Game just underway right now. And also, earlier, you had the Genesis Open, which was finally completed. They had to play 36 holes of golf today, and when it was all said and done, your winner by 5 shots, Dustin Johnson. So the NBA All-Star Game now on TNT, and they're talking about the Genesis Open at the Riviera Country Club on the Golf Channel, CBS Sports earlier with the coverage today. That's it, folks. We are going to put a wrap on tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget, tomorrow for President's Day, we will be back at it, 7 o'clock, the Allegheny Health Network program, Medical Frontiers, Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer, neurosurgery and chronic hip pain, the topic of conversation. And then we salute President's Day by looking back at some of our country's iconic leaders, including John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, and many others. My guest, right after local news from Joe DeStio from the award-winning KDK Radio Newsroom on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline, John Delano, KDK TV2 money editor and political analyst. We'll not only look back at our past presidents, but we'll talk about what's going on with President Donald Trump, who is talking about as early as next week, meaning now, having a new executive travel ban and his continued battle with the media. We'll get the thoughts of a man who's covered many presidential elections and actually talked to presidents as well. John Delano will join me on the program. And then a man who made his living, Quigley Catholic graduate, ex-Marine, as a member of the Secret Service, John Hudson, Security Solutions, Inc., of course, the camera, the eye in the sky, that's what he does now for a living, and is one of the best in the country doing it. But there was a time he was right along that motorcade protecting the president, George H. Bush and President Ronald Reagan. John Hudson joins me in the 9 o'clock hour, his time and life with the presidents. That's all coming up along with Facebook, Twitter, Post-Gazette, TribLive.com, the Beaver Allegheny County Times. Whatever is making news, we will talk about it. And don't forget, a week from tonight on ABC, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Jimmy Kimmel will be hosting the 89th Academy Awards starting at 7 o'clock on ABC with a red carpet activity. Going to be a great evening. All week we'll be giving you information on that so you can get prepared to walk the red carpet too. And believe it or not, it'll be 50 years, the 49th Annual Academy Awards, 1977, since Sylvester Stallone stepped in front of the camera and made that incredible movie, Rocky, took home the Best Picture award that year. Man, how time flies. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.